It's very difficult to go around these days. I mean, I'm, if we are not well grounded, because there is a huge level of negativity due to this corona pandemic thing that it's affecting everybody on many different levels. But what I can see is that it's even more schizophrenic, the kind of reality that we are living. Before we do some kind of, let's say, inner work, that could be just taking some time for ourselves to do some kind of, whether it is yoga, meditation, or other forms of things that put us face to face with the way that we operate. So we see all our bad aspects and our mind going totally unstable from one side to the other side. Clearly, a situation like this that we're living right now brings lots of attention in people's life, which means fear, which maybe I would say just fear for now, that really goes lots of unaware responses to things in life. And when we are fearful, of course we lose clarity, because emotions kind of blur our ability of seeing things for what they are. So it's even difficult to see the situation for what it is. Of course, it's quite an unprecedented thing, something that has never happened, I think, on this scale. Maybe because we travel around quite a lot on a human level. But you can definitely see that many people are fearful, and many people are kind of sad with negative emotions, and it's very difficult to go around and find other kind of situations, but it's just the way it is. And at the end of the day, we are here not to decide how things go, but how we can respond to them. And if we have as the main compass, let's say, our own personal evolution, we will make sure we can juggle with any ball that is thrown at us, and we can take the most out of it. That's the best thing that we can do, of course. And at that stage, even if we are surrounded by sad people, let me use this word, even though I don't want to offend anybody, because everybody has their rights to be in the way they want, but we are able to bring some clarity into the situation. At least we are able to make our own choices, which could be against the social mechanism 100%, the common opinions, the way that most people see life due to media influence, TV, all these kind of things. We know that masses are easily taken from one side to the other side without even realizing that. So it's definitely a time to be strong. And what I have noticed in my life 100% is that discipline make us strong, in the sense that if we apply a certain level of forcing certain things on ourselves for our good, then the outcome is quite nice, actually, because our life improve on many different levels. In my case, my discipline is to do my Gong routine, and to try to be aware in any moment of my life, of my day, of my processes, my thoughts and emotions and body in any given time. And if we could manage to do that 100%, there will be no need for any spiritual gymnastic or any kind of practice, because we will already created a certain distance from life itself, from ourselves, so we will manage to be more objective about things, so be less affected by the changes of life, because life keep on changing, there's no doubt about it, and there's not much we can do. At the end of the day, it's like this, it's a game, we are here, we don't know why, and we have to cope with it. So it's good at least to cope from a distant place, because from a distant place you are able to put the puzzle together and make things work, or seeing the full picture without get too much involved into the messy confusion that is driving the world for now. I don't want to talk about my opinions about certain things because everybody has their own. There's no purpose, but for sure what I want to say is that little bit of effort every day of doing a work on ourselves even might look like a selfish thing to do, especially if you have a family or if you have other kind of commitments, like that you wake up in the morning and the first thing that you do is actually no watching the phone, no watching TV, not doing anything else, shutting yourself off from the world and closing yourself in a room and doing some kind of qigong, yoga, whatever, inner inquiring, whatever you want to do it. But it really improves the way that then we deal with things, because everything here changes quite rapidly. It will be more and more because as you can see the technology, we are in 200 years we scrap the planet. Let's take it as simple as that, in the sense that from the industrial revolution to now we are basically creating a problem in all this environment, which basically means also that, as you can see with the internet and everything, we're moving really fast as far as changes, which means also that we need to be able to adapt ourselves faster than usual, and that requires a certain level of flexibility but also a certain level of perspective to understand, first of all, who we are in life, and then to be able to adjust just to make sure that we still go in a productive way in anything that we do, whether it is our personal growth, our relationship, business. We are here, so we have to do something out of this life, isn't it? We cannot just relax and sit and just wait for that, which could be a good thing if you if you have some kind of perspective about things. But what I'm saying is that it's difficult to understand, and I live in this world, so even though I try to keep my contacts, human relationships and everything quite essential, just because I realize what it is important for me, and so if I can cut the branches that are not really interesting for me, I have more time to be centered and to develop the things that are really important for me. But I do realize that people live in society and families, and I do have family, and it can be quite difficult to cope with everybody's minds, because at the end of the day we're talking about this. We're talking about finding our center and being able to see things in the right place, to interact with life as it is, because life is quite practical. It's not that when we do some kind of let's say personal work such as spirituality or qigong, whatever you want to call these things, that we have to go somewhere else. This is life in its full gift. We just need to explore other possibilities and dimensions to make sure that we make good use of this opportunity, because it's an opportunity to grow, and we have a broader perspective also to interact with it in a more constructive way, in a more useful way for ourselves and others, because this is the really important thing as well, to make sure that our contribution is also for others. It doesn't mean that we have to go around like saints trying to convert people to specific religions or beliefs, but for sure you can be even on a mountain isolated, and while you work on yourself, we are working on the entire humanity, because there is no separation between things in nature. Even things are far away, apparently, even scientifically, these kind of things can be seen, quantum physics and other things. There is an unseen connection between things. So what we're going through right now, it's not just a personal suffering, it's a big thing for everybody, and we can feel the tension in the air. But we have to decide what we want to do with this tension, rather than being overwhelmed by it. What I've noticed and found really useful is to put a little bit of effort and a discipline that can create strength and correct vision and understanding. In fact, I also created a Patreon page for my students, but for everybody, just whoever wants to join this thing, to talk about meditation, freedom, and Qigong. Friday 7th of January I will start this journey, and we will start to talk about the wheel of life of Buddha, just because it really provides some kind of understanding about the nature of the mind. It's not connected to any kind of religious belief or understanding. We will take a look together, because there is very good explanation of how we get messed up right here. Now I'm seeing the sun going down, so it's time to close the recording. I hope that it wasn't boring. And check the Patreon page. I will put the link on the description here of the video, YouTube, or whatever it's gonna be. And if you have questions, feel free to get in touch.